Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Friday morning trading session. The week, I don't know, just kind of flew by, it seems, and here we are Friday. I'll warn you, we got a little bit of nasty weather coming through my part of the world. So if I all of a sudden disappear online, it's because the power went out. There's some pretty big trees near the house. A lot of them some pretty old cottonwoods, and if you're familiar with cottonwood trees, they get very brittle as they get older, and may just take out a power line somewhere. But until then, we'll see what we can do with the market here this morning. Okay, so just a really quick review. I see a couple new names in the room this morning. Welcome. What we're looking at here is the DTS system, of course. And the way I have mine organized is I have my Hawk Scalper here in the top left, Falcon Swing Trader top right, Eagle Trend Trader bottom left, and then of course the Raptor on the bottom right. These charts here are the NASDAQ. I'm also watching crude oil and the euro, that would be the 6E. But that's also the same as the euro US dollar pair for those of you following the forex markets. You can kind of get a glimpse here what's been going on the Eagle chart. Yesterday, very sideways, congested type trading. There were some decent moves, but it was tough slogging. The overnight put in a little bit of a rally, trying to break out of this trading range. And here we are opening with a bit of a gap. If you consider that we closed down here around, say, 56.20, and we're opening up around 56.35, 36. So we will give them a few moments to settle in. It does almost look as though we've had a test of the extreme, however. Very little, tiny, quick test of the extreme. What time is it? Okay, we're only about 3 minutes into the session. I might be open to a soft edge sell signal and hope that traders will try to get into that opening range gap. We're not going to get a signal here on the Hawk unless you wanted to short the failure of the macro pullback signal, which is not something that we do very often, but the option is there for you. And I suppose the Falcon is giving us a double dot signal, but do we have anything to tie it in with? No, not really. So it looks like the Raptor may still be our best hope for a counter trend signal, if in fact the market is going to back up on us a little bit this morning. You've got to be careful with counter trend signals. Obviously, you should, as a rule, try to stay with the trend as much as possible. But if the conditions are right, the counter trend trade can sometimes have some very nice follow through. right, a little bit of a dip lower. Oop, there's the counter trend signal right there. So I'm just going to short it, and I'll show you what's going on. So here, just a moment. Let me set my stops a little better. Okay. What time is it? Okay, 6:35. So we're only about 5 minutes into the session. And what I've done here is the Raptor has not signaled the counter trend signal, as you can see. We did not get our signal printing. However, the elements of a counter trend signal are still there. We do have an uptrend, and we had this quick little retest, and now the market trying to head lower. So that's where we got the sell signal. That's why I hit the sell market button. It's looking like we may get a bigger retest before the next attempt lower. At least I hope it's not too big of a retest. And my stop, stay right there. Stop moving. May 5th today. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everyone. It's also Adam's birthday today. If you want to send him a birthday greeting, I was teasing him this morning because he's down in Houston, of course, asking him if all the Mexicans in Houston were making a fuss for his birthday this year. I'm sure there's some pretty serious Cinco de Mayo celebrations down in that part of the world. Especially on a Friday night. Oh, right you are, Floyd. Floyd says today might be really slow, or we may only see one move of the day. The Fed meetings all day today. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. That will definitely put a damper on things. Well, when in doubt, short, I always say. on down. There's a trickle. Come on, let's go. Yeah, Mr. Buckaloo says Yellen is speaking at 1:30 Eastern today. The market seems to try to read her tea leaves. Ain't that the truth? So Aspen said oil tanked really hard yesterday after their little rally. So this is the overnight. 1 second. I do have oil on the faster time chart, or pardon me, the alternate settings, in case my chart looks a little different than yours. You're not kidding. This is all after hours, of course, and it all unfolded very, very quickly. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the after-hours sessions. Excuse me. It seems like crude oil is making all its moves in the overnight. We'll take a look here at the Eagle. It might show it a little better. So rather substantial decline after a big run up. Yeah, oil was busy all right. Crazy. I miss the good old days where oil was totally unpredictable. Well, it's not any more predictable now, but at least the moves were big enough during the session that you could get in, you could get out. Now it just seems during the session it's blah. Well, the reason I'm holding my stops back here is I'm concerned that maybe we're going to see a slightly larger retest of the high. As the market struggles to find some sort of direction. But right now it looks like they may in fact be trying to fill that opening range gap. Dare I say it? Okay. Oops. So we've managed to find our first profit target. Hooray for us. And you know, the money is there if you want to grab the second one. I'm going to try to ride out this little swing here, but it's going to have to be quick. After which, or actually right now I suppose I can go with a slightly more aggressive stop strategy. I'm always keen to do the see if we can get a runner. See you, Aspen. Have a nice weekend. Have fun at the dentist. Well, Tony, you weren't wrong. Tony says, well, wrong again. I was too leery to take the counter-trend trade. Oh well, just have to wait for another trade. There's nothing wrong with missing a trade. You see, I do it all the time. When you go into the day with the mindset that you're only going to hold out for 2 or 3 really good-looking trades, it takes a lot of pressure off taking ones that you're not particularly keen on. I suppose, you know, having reached the hard edge, it would have been smarter on my part to stop trying to run these darn trades out, but oh well. put that same note in my journal again. Would have been better going all in, all out again. I guess I'll keep writing that until I learn. I'm debating getting back on board here. We're getting a couple opportunities, but we're right into the hard edge here on the Eagle and the Raptor, which is what's giving me pause. You can see we do have a macro pullback signal that has already fired in the Hawk. Perhaps a second push opportunity would be the way to go there. The Falcon giving me a warning dot on a possible trend change. Oh dear, and they're going to make me make a decision about this. Look at that, you stickers.
Order pending.
We have filled the morning gap, by the way, in case you were wondering. Trading left off here around the 56.25 area. And that's essentially where we're at right now. The Raptor giving a comparable signal to the one we're seeing on the Falcon. Oh, good. We've got a chance at a second push opportunity. That's encouraging. So I won't duplicate the signal, but just know that the Raptor signal is the same as the Falcon signal that we're looking at. And we're here at the top of the hour. The only thing that's really kind of redeeming about this signal is the second push entry. You can see we've come down nicely from the secondary resistance line. We've come down 2 zones. Normally I would anticipate a little bit of a hiccup, but maybe, just maybe, we'll see it drift down here to the primary resistance. If they don't, however, I won't hesitate to get much more aggressive with my stops. And just jam the trade really tight. Is Curtis the only one with audio problems? Can everyone else hear me? Okay, thanks, Curtis. Marty's asking, when you go all in, all out on the Falcon, what do you use as your target price? We have preset profit objectives depending on the tool. So for the Hawk Scalper, that would be $50 per contract. The Falcon and the Raptor, the objective is $100 per contract. And for the Eagle Trend Trader, the objective is $200 per contract. So what you need to do then is you need to temper that with the market you're trading. So the NASDAQ, since it trades at $5 a tick, and I would like a $100 objective, I have a 20 tick target. If I were trading the Russell at $10 a tick, I would have a 10 tick target. For markets that tend to be a little bit more volatile, such as crude and gold, maybe even the mid cap, the EMD, I will extend the profit objective and essentially double it. So rather than go for $100 or in a market like crude or gold, I will have a $200 target. Okay, I'm not liking the way the market is hesitating here, so I am going to bring my stop in. This is all they're going to get out of me. Keep in mind, the best stop is still the one that's up here. That one is going to give you the greatest staying power, but because the market is just wandering this way, I don't want to see it, run all the way back up here. So I'm prepared to take the early stop out and break even if I can get it. Come on. I'm not holding out a lot of hope for this particular trade. Are we getting any bullish signals? Oh, maybe. the eagle, of course, here into the hard edge. We may come out of that with a red bar buy and maybe even a hard edge bounce here on the raptor, which would also produce a number 3 hard edge bounce signal, our continuation signal. You see, there's a method to my madness. If I talk about buy signals, the market will start to go lower. So I don't want to talk about sell signals. Crude oil putting in quite the rally today. Haven't focused much on crude, but here's crude on the Raptor, and definitely a nice continuation signal that came about 10 minutes ago, and some decent follow through from there. Still some pretty crazy swings going on in that market. Yeah, Curtis says, use the mouse. And Tony says, keep talking about buy signals. I have a feeling there's a few of us short this market. Okay, here we're going to pull the market down with the mouse. There we go. Come on. Just a little lower. I seem to remember 56.25 being a little bit of a stubborn spot yesterday as well. No. Nope. They're not going to give it to me. Stinkers. So let's see here. Are we going to get a hard edge bounce? No, not yet. The eagle not quite ready to give us that red bar buy signal, and ditto on the Raptor. Could be right, Tony says. Looks like it's going to go sideways for a bit. Well, especially if there's a bunch of FOMC news that the market is waiting on. Nobody's going to really commit to too much. And it does seem that they may just bounce around for a bit. These are the days that I'm glad they reintroduced the bid-ask bars, because otherwise you'd be wondering whether you're The computer was on. So this bar, which has barely moved, has been about 15 minutes in the making. I am so tempted just to jam that to break even. Come on, one more bar. Just one more bar. I'll even put my break-even trigger right there at the low of this bar. Oh, you stickers. All right, I'm gonna, as soon as there we go, break even it is.
Order cancel.
Couldn't take the pressure. It could trickle lower for sure, but it's just taking so long. I'll take the break-even stop out, and I'll make a note here in my journal. Yeah, and of course now it goes down. Son of a... So, two notes that I seem to write a lot in my journal. Would have done better, all in, all out, and stopped out early. Leave your stops alone. Well, it wasn't a profit, but at least it wasn't a loss either. Okay, we should see a reaction because of this hard edge, though. That's a given. Yeah, Tony says, see, journaling doesn't work. Well, it works a little better on some. The Bears have been in control pretty much all morning, though, and we're coming up almost an hour into the session. A reversal does seem likely. There's no question. Elmer asks, Eric, have you come across an indicator from Ninja called RDS, Real-Time Supply and Demand, which draws boxes automatically based on time frames? I have heard of it, but no, I can't say that I have seen it on Ninja. Hold on, I'll see if I can find out though. No, Elmer, as far as I can see, it's not available on NinjaTrader. I have heard of it though, and it's a very interesting concept. Essentially, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, if Elmer and I are thinking of the same things, it is, well, actually, instead of trying to fiddle with this, let's see if I can get a screenshot. Nope, I'm not getting the chart I'm looking for. Um, I have seen it, and like I said, it seems like a pretty cool concept. What it does is it builds a brick for your bar, and it will each bar will be divided into its bullish and bearish components. So your bar may end up looking something like this, and this bar would be fairly balanced. A bar like this would look more, well, let's say the light gray are the bulls and the dark gray are the bears. a bar like this would suggest that there's more bullish buying on this bar than there are bears. So as a result, you would expect the market to rally. That's the idea behind it. I didn't pay that much attention to it. I thought it was pretty cool, but if I remember looking at it, I had to invest in other software or something of that nature, and I've already got plenty of that. So I didn't pursue it much further. Yeah, I definitely got a little too anxious on my trade, didn't I? Look at that. Nice little move lower, hit my profit objective, which was down here at the primary support. So just got tagged on the little hiccup here. Oh well, it happens. I had my reasons. I don't feel bad about it. So long as you have a reason for getting in and out of your trades, ideally 2 reasons, you'll do okay. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is just to make the decision. Crude oil putting in a monster rally this morning. I guess I should have been paying a little bit more attention to crude. But there was just so much going on here in the NASDAQ. You know, just thinking about my premature stop out here on the Falcon trade that I was doing. It's important to remember that risk is the only part of the trade that you have any control over. We obviously don't have control over the profit side of the equation, so we really need to focus on controlling our risk, and all the best traders will tell you that. And I'm not just talking, you know, Joe average trader like me. I'm talking about superstar traders. Ed Sequoia, Paul Tudor Jones, even Warren Buffett, who most people say is, well, he is an investor, not really a trader. But it's all about risk. It's all about risk. Do these people ever make bad decisions? Oh, yeah. But when they do, they've controlled their risk. Their risk has been an amount that A, they could afford, and B, they kept it as small as possible. It was all about risk control. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, I am halfway tempted to shut up the room early here, but we'll hang with it for a few minutes more, see if we get another signal. But it's probably going to be the way we're moving along here. It's going to be a half an hour before we get a trend change signal, or pardon me, a cloud crossover, which is the trend change signal. Excuse me. Maybe a rule of three here in the eagle. We are due for a pullback, though. Like I said, we still haven't seen that reaction to the hard edge. So don't count the buyers out just yet. Well, here we go. I'm going to trickle a little lower still. We did generate a late filter entry signal on the Falcon, so it looks like we're trying to follow through on that. No follow-up signal on the Raptor yet. The Hawk just producing secondary signals, nothing that really qualifies as a high probability signal. And now the Falcon also giving us a trend line touch signal. So a couple opportunities on the Falcon, and it looks like we are just making a beeline for the basement. That is very unusual. Trying to figure out how many legs we have here. Guess that would be one. Is that two? And this is three. That's very, very sloppy this morning. The reason I'm counting the legs is very often we'll only see two or three legs in a direction, rarely four or five. Yeah, Tony says, didn't hear your doorbell. The wife wasn't shopping online a few days ago. No, the visa statement came in. She's curbed it for a little bit. Elmer asking, is that our first in-sync signal on the Eagle? I suppose it could be, Elmer. The Eagle band has turned over. It is a cell signal, to be sure. I'm not that anxious to get on it, though, because I need a test of the extreme still. So, is it an in-sync signal? Yes, by all means. A second push entry might be advisable, but where are you going to put your stop? Way up there. That's where your stop's got to go, and that's a little bit out of reach for me, so I might be waiting for a slightly better setup. As you can see, there's very little structure here to build off of. Oh, sorry, that wasn't Elmer, that was Tony. Tony mentioning the first in-sync signal. So a retrace would not surprise me. You know, I don't think it's going to, well, it could be substantial, of course, but once we're above 1520, pardon me, 5620, 5625 seems like a probable target. And by above 5620, I mean we need to close above the primary support line here, which technically is 5619. Tony's going to try that eagle trade, he says, with a scalp target, though. Okay, I think you'll be all right. It's just if you can hold on through the swing. I could see today, what's next after here? See, the median line is 5613. I think that is a very reasonable target for the market today. But it's just holding on through that swing. That's the tough part. At the very least, I think your stops have to be above 5625. Not too tight, because they may choose to fudge it, but I think you'll be all right. 10 points, not that much to ask for. 10 ticks, pardon me. Yeah, but we have been sliding all morning, so for, well over an hour right now. So no denying the trend is down. Just got to hold out for the next selling opportunity. All right, gang, if you don't mind, I think we will call it an early session. There's really not much going on. Crude oil has made a monster move to the upside, and the NASDAQ made a decent move lower, but is now just kind of dragging its feet for a little bit. No doubt the announcements that are going to come out today will loosen up the market a little bit, so hopefully Monday we'll see a little bit more volatility come into the market, perhaps give us a few more opportunities, a little better follow through. Have yourselves a very nice weekend, and I will talk to you on Monday. See you then. Bye for now.